Tiwa, so why are these schools so eager to open branches overseas?
Well, I think, quite frankly, a lot of them are looking for new revenue streams. These are schools often with centuries-old brands, really recognisable names in the UK, and now a lot of them are looking to capitalise on that fact. And it's a booming industry. We've seen the number of private schools over the last few years tripling since 2017. It's up from 51 to 151 campuses abroad. And also, in terms of profits, they're exploding too. Over the last decade, they're up 18 times, reaching £29 million in the last academic year. And when you also consider the fact that in the UK, most of these private schools have charitable status, which means they don't pay corporation tax on overseas earnings, it does become quite an attractive opportunity. But it's also worth remembering that there's demand abroad for these British schools. Typically, these parents would be sending their children abroad for school, but now they can access that British education on their doorstep, and crucially, they can pay the school fees in their local currency, which does make a big difference when you think about exchange rates. So this is becoming a real opportunity for schools that are looking to perhaps diversify their income streams.
Yeah, guilty as charged. I live in Dubai, and my children go to a British school over here in Dubai. What are the risks for some of these schools going into business with foreign actors?
Well, as you mentioned, these are very prestigious institutions. We're talking about the sort of places that have educated prime ministers, for example. You know, they're so historic that in some cases they're kind of intertwined with the British identity and culture. And so I think the main risk here is denting that image, and in some cases perhaps for these schools tainting their legacies, particularly with association with foreign business partners. In the story that's out on the terminal this morning, one of the examples we go into is the opening of Rugby School in Lagos, Nigeria this September. That development is being financed by a firm called the Chagri Group, and one of their founders has faced quite a number of controversies. For example, he was forced to pay $1.8 million to resolve allegations that he broke US election law in 2021. So it's a risk for these schools to be associated with some business partners that perhaps don't quite live up to their historic reputations.